Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back. So this is another little update of kind of what I've been working on, and this is the dinosaur, the T-Rex guy from the last video. You can see I added on a fair bit of armor and bits and bobs on his back, and I don't know, just random kind of sci-fi looking bits. So I'm just kind of mad to get him sprayed up to see what he looks like. And I went ahead and kind of gave him a good little grin there to make him look a little bit more, I don't know, badass, give him a bit more character. So that's him, and I did a little bit of a sci-fi base as well. Nothing amazing, but just I don't know, something different. And this is the other guy, the medic kind of guy. He looks kind of like a tech fella now. Piece of a computer on the back here, as well as his little backpacks, his little pockets and bits and bobs. So he has these bits are from Ramshackle Games from the Miscast box that I got from him ages ago. And there's some nice little kind of like, this is from one of his goblins or his grots that you can get, but it was a miscast, so I think it was a little. I just had to fix it up a little bit, but I think it makes sense. And this is also a grot blaster or something like that, which I think will fit in with the scale once I sculpt an arm. So he'll be another cool character for that. I don't know, Dino Crew. So you'll see they're the kind of dinosaur toys that I used, just really cheapy ones, and I use them for this as well. Basically, you chop them up, take their tail off, their top of their body off, and you can reposition their legs slightly to stand them in different, positions. But I did this one really quickly, and it's basically, I don't know really what it is, kind of a Nasher looking squeak thing with the scouring pads over it. So I'm going to spray this guy up, but I said I'd show you in a video. Just these things are so easy to make, and that's just some really quick, messy, epoxy teeth sculpting. Doesn't really make sense, but it kind of inspired me. Do you know the game? I think it's a Morkborg, and I think I was talking about it in the last video as well. And just the art style of the rule books are just really, really extreme, different. I suppose it's hard to explain. It's very contrasts and colors. There's bright yellow, black, and white. Really is what's used, and the kind of the illustration style is very messy and grungy. Punk, will say. So you should check them out. And I was just like, oh, that world looks so, let's say, interesting, and I wonder what it would be like to kind of make some crazy monsters for that world. So that's where kind of that inspiration came from, and they look kind of squeaky as well at the same time. And then this thing was something similar. I don't know, it was just one of these times where I had this bit of an animal, this bit of, I think it was a lion toy or something like that I was going to use for one of my monster bash ideas, and so it just turned into this. I think Leghorn is what I'll end up calling it. I asked on Instagram. I think Leghorn was my favorite answer, even if it does remind me of that big chicken, foghorn, Leghorn, I think it is. But yeah, just a big huge horn with legs on it. This weird kind of flesh, with some little bit of texture and kind of, you can see underneath it is tinfoil that built it up. This was just thrown together really quickly, and I had the horn made already, so that'll be another weird creature to find. This is the one that I featured in the last video as well, the cockatrice, and I just added on a little bit extra before I want to undercoat them, just extra spines here, and I put on some liquid green stuff to bring things together as well. So he's actually ready to be undercoated now, and he's been on the work in progress table for, Jesus, probably literally years now at this stage. I'll go to these guys next. These were these little army men guys that I was talking about in the last video that just had some green stuff and texture added onto them. And honestly, with some dry brush, they came out pretty well. I have no idea what they are. They're some kind of weird earth creatures, you know what I mean? Their eyes are picked out just with yellow there so you can see them. Really, really, I don't know what these are, but I don't know. I kind of like them. And they're so cheap and so quick to make, and it's fun to kind of sculpt weird little faces like that with green stuff. They're a good one to have on the side, because if I have any little bits of green stuff left from other projects, I can always slap on a bit. And this guy, I don't know, this guy kind of reminds me of something like the Geno scenes from Star Wars, is it? Do you remember like Attack of the Clones and all? Geno scenes? Is that how you say it? Those kind of bug guys. I don't know why. Another bunch of weird creatures for the box. This guy is actually my monster bash that I'm working on. Originally, I thought, oh, deadly, I was so hyped for the monster bash. I did, I drew 3 cards. I drew 3 lots of cards, and I drew actually 6. I didn't realize it was meant to be 7. But this guy is the RedEyed Dire Phoenix. So this is from a random monster name generator just on Google. I thought it might be a good way to kind of help guide where I'm going with the creation. Would say it's another level to it. So these are the ones that I drew. And this is kind of, you know, obviously it's pretty good, like fur, that's pretty handy. You can put that anywhere. It could be on a hair, it could be on head, obviously, for hair, or it could be like for a fur cloak, or it could be, you know, just fur all over the creature anyway, or in patches. So that was pretty handy. Stinger, very insectoid, like, you know, this kind of furry already. You have the stripes. I'm not sure if I'm going to include those, but I'll see. The weird thing was the two sets of wings. So originally I was going to do kind of let's say butterfly wings that were more kind of bat-like with the spikes and everything on them. I don't know if that's how it worked out, but I do plan on kind of doing a butterfly-like pattern to some degree when I'm painting it. This weird kind of, I saw it almost as a Venus flytrap kind of idea, but it had eyes in it instead. I suppose it could be tadpoles, could be frog spawn as well. That's weird, and it's kind of continues this weird, hairy skin. Weird. I keep saying weird, but I don't know how else to say it. Like, do you know what I mean? This kind of texture, which can link up with this, and then this is very insectoid as well. So I had kind of a nice build there. Even though there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 limbs, kind of weird that there's a strange. I'll say strange instead. A strange number of limbs. So then I was like, okay, sketch them up. Something like this. You know, you have the fur, you have these spikes, these wings that were kind of bat-like and butterfly-like, all the eyes. This is something like, is it Weeping Bell, the Pokemon or something? And I had the legs here on this kind of weird claw. So I actually turned out doing something like this. The wings aren't, I wish I did the wings more like this. I'm not super happy with how they are, but you know, it's different anyway. So this is where we're looking at the moment, and this is, I have about a week left to finish this officially, and I've actually magnetized it, which is pretty sick. I don't know, magnets are just, maybe it's just me, I just find them really cool. I don't know. But yeah, the base is pretty simple enough. Bit of weight in it just for with the stones and that. But it was wire armature, and then you had some super sculpey, if this is going to focus for me in any way, just to make the base, and then the green stuff came in. And I have to do his legs as well. These are all his weird eyes. And his wings were wire armature, and then some thin green stuff over it. And then I think I did liquid green stuff, and then I did Mod Podge. I don't know if really it's going to be great. Obviously, it's not a flat texture, which really doesn't bother me if it's kind of natural and everything, but I would have preferred probably, I could have done that better. I probably could have done that with like making a flat amount of green stuff and then cutting out to shape it and sticking it straight on rather than trying to sculpt it around it. There's a big stinger. The Super Sculpey does have texture in it. I really need to get a better setup, don't I? It does have texture in it, which will be covered in fur anyway, or little bits of static grass is my idea, to do kind of like a fur or a hair basically over that. So it'll be kind of insectoid at the same time. And then these are the limbs down here, quite long. I kind of plan on doing those like segmented like insect limbs. And then she goes up here, and so it makes sense for how it flies. I think that the wings obviously at the highest point, and then this kind of hangs down, and I'll push the legs back in as well. I just opened them up because I only did the magnet yesterday. And it's kind of hidden. It's hidden okay, I think. Do you know what I mean? It makes sense. So just so it'll be easier to take off, and it'll be another weird kind of, like I said before, another weird creature for a shelf. And then last but not least, these are, I don't know, something else weird. These are Technolog figures that I got a set of before. I got some, I did, remember I did the Triclopses, did like 5 of those. And I have ogres as well, which I haven't touched. I kind of just like how they look. I might make them into pigmen, I'm not sure. If I do pigmen, I want to give them big bellies as well, but I'll see. These are a combination of robbing toys and taking their heads off and putting them on these, I don't know, they were originally some kind of, you know, frozen waste, or I wouldn't be able to tell you what culture or country or historical period these guys came from originally. Like their heads originally looked like this. Mongols maybe, I have no idea, could be wrong. But yeah, I was going to originally convert them into like these big bugbears. So I was going to give them these ears and nose, but then I decided this guy especially thought he looked really cool with the pose and everything. Take his head off, give him this dinosaur head, gave him some textured skin here to match it up, and tail. Originally I was going to change their feet as well, but I was like, nah, nah, it's fine. So as you can see, the rest of them are kind of in progress. And again, as is everything really. So this guy's got a goose head. I think I might give him some kind of spear. I'm at the weapons stage now. I'm not sure what to do with them because these guys originally had bows holding in these arms, and this guy is the cat. Same thing again. I'm giving him just the eyelids, kind of make them look a little bit more, I don't know, sculpted, or you can add a little bit of motion to them. This guy was going to get a mace like this with this bead here. Shout out the bill, but I'm not sure. I'll see. Maybe another spear. So I think this guy will get, if I can get away with it, chop this donkey's head off and put it on here. Because my boy, I think he's starting to realize how much I'm cannibalizing his toys. And I'll buy him more, like I will buy him more. But you know, at the moment they're being, like I said, cannibalized. That's kind of a bit of what I've been working on, guys. Hope to get the monster bash done so I can get in and kind of have it included in the big gallery and all that. That'd be really cool, and just to see what everybody else is making, because it's coming at the end of the year or the end of the month. Oh yeah, this guy as well. Sorry, that's just a model that I had on the go that needed to be put together, and he had space here between his arms. I have no idea what it is or where it came from. I kind of got it in a lot from a Discord, so it could be some kind of crystal creature or maybe some kind of bark creature. Maybe I'm thinking bark because it's brown. I'm not sure, but yeah, that's another guy. But yeah, that's kind of what's going on at the moment. As you can see, fucking every bits and pieces, like a complete random selection of projects. But that's the normal way, and I do realize like so much of the stuff in my videos never gets finished. But I hope if you can see something in this and you're just like, oh, that's cool, I'm going to give that a try, you can finish it. And mine will probably never be finished, but at least you know you might get an idea. But yeah, okay. Cheers for watching. What's all the crack you say? You can sub if you want, like and all that crack if you want. But yeah, I'll catch you next one. Good luck.